Okay, so we've been delaying on the stairs on doing this for a long time, partly because there are other projects going on, but also because the price of wood has just got so outrageous. And probably the biggest factor though is that when I bought some test panels and tried to stain them, I couldn't get the stain to look nearly as nice as I wanted it to be. So we're going to change directions. We're going to go ahead and drywall this, and then I'm going to put my screws, since I'm horrible at finishing drywall. We will do a wood piece running every 2 feet, and so a drywall piece is 4 foot, so I'll have a wood piece here, wood piece 2 foot down, and a wood piece covering the seam, and then every 32 inches, so I'll skip a stud and then have a vertical piece. So instead of getting the 2 foot by 2 foot squares I wanted, we're going to have a 32 inch by 24 inch kind of rectangle pattern on the walls. If I had done the wood like I wanted, I could have put my vertical and horizontal strips any place I wanted to, but because I'm doing drywall, I would have to put nailers all over the place to make sure I got the pattern right. But I should be able to knock this out pretty quick. Then we're going to paint the drywall a dark color. Natalie wants to do the green that we did in the living room, and then I'll have my vertical and horizontal wood pieces the same as the rest of our woodwork in the house. So I hope this will go pretty fast. Won't have any issues. There's no real outlets to cut out. I have one outlet and one light switch, and that's it. So beyond that, it's just slapping it up. Hope it'll go good. Okay, so I got the first sheet up, so you can kind of see my plan here. So there'll be a strip running this way. This is right in the center of the sheet. I'll have a strip running across, and then a strip covering the seam down here. And my vertical strip will run down there. Actually, it'll run down that seam to cover where this one joins at. Down here, down there, so I'll have that grid pattern. And I shouldn't have to do any mudding or taping at all if I do this right, if I don't mess anything up. Well, things are going slower as usual. I just put up a big piece, but I need to change direction. I'll tell you why. So this is going into the living room area, and where this 4 foot section lines up is different than where this section lines up. So trying to find a place where I can transition at, and I was going to transition in this corner, so to wrap around and my piece would come right above that switch there. But in doing that, it puts my next piece right about the top of that window, which may interfere with the window trim and look weird if it doesn't line up right. So it's actually better if I transition right where this door opening is and go ahead, because it's pretty tight right there. But to take this piece out, clear over to here where the door opening is, and use that somewhere else if I can, and then reposition this piece down. Actually, it would line up this 4 foot going up, and that would have a small little tiny strip up there which would get covered up by trim. But that would move the transition. You'd see this line here, and then there'd be a door. The other transition would be down here. I don't know if that'd look good either, because you'd see it coming up the stairs. I guess I better consult the boss. Okay, so here's the dilemma, is that this drywall line does not line up with this drywall line from the stairs on that side. So I'm trying to figure out where to make the transition at from up here to down here. So the next, I'm doing it every 2 feet. Hey, pay attention.
No, I am paying attention. I'm looking behind me because it doesn't really matter.
Didn't matter.
Okay.
So if I
But this
go,
is something that we talked about before with this, because we knew things weren't going to line up a long time ago.
that's fine though. That's a whole different side of the wall.
Well, that's what I'm feeling about
This is where they're going to converge somewhere. I'm trying to figure out where they converge them at. The doorway here would be a great break between that level and this level. But as you're coming up the stairs, you would see
That would
a
look terrible.
band there, and then the band would jump
That'd
down
be
here.
terrible. I wouldn't do it here.
But there's also the bench here and other stuff, so it may not make a difference.
Can you not
because
do wood along that wall?
I can't
Or what
get
are you
wood
doing
big
on
enough.
that wall?
It's going to be just like this. Yeah, listening.
I am listening. I'm
But
filling in the
again-
blanks. I don't like that idea.
So I could keep it the same, and then when it drops down, there's those two lines. The 24-inch line is down here now, where this band will come across like that. The problem is the bench in the window gets in the way, and trying to figure out how to make this trim look decent with this trim look decent with where the bench is and how all this lines up. If it's up here, it's no big deal because it's out of the way. So as far as trimming out the bench and the window, it's easier if I line it up with that side because it's way up here versus here when it's way down there. It's so close to that corner, it would be, I don't know how it would make it all
This
look
needs to look the same on either side, because that's going to look terrible if you're walking up the stairs and it's not even. So this needs to be the same.
Okay, so if it's the same and it wraps around to this side, your transition is going to be like up here and then down there or something. This would be off a little bit. This is where this one would come across and dead in there, and then you have a trim piece here, but it's just a small section.
To me,
too.
this is not going to be noticeable because when you're coming down the stairs, you're going to be seeing the bench and you're going to be looking out the window. You're not going to be looking at the drywall. When I'm coming up the stairs, I'm going to see a door with equal parts of drywall on either side. So
I
this
have to
needs,
leave it like this, and it's
this
up to me
needs
to
to be
figure out
even.
how to make that work.
yes.
Okay.
Did you want the other one because it's easier?
No, I mean, I'm not going to do it right now anyways. It's something
Okay.
I got to tackle down the road when I start trimming the
Do you know what I mean though?
No, I understand.
Like if
that's what
I'm
saying.
coming up the stairs, this is all I'm looking at.
I was going to cut everything out and transition around this way, but then I realized when you come up the stairs, you're going to see these at different, that one.
This
one,
needs to
different
look the
heights.
same.
Okay.
As you're coming upstairs. Because like I said, when you're coming down the stairs, unless it's nighttime, I mean, but even if it's nighttime, you're going to be looking at the bench. There's going to be decorative pillows there. There's going to be things to look at.
There's going to be cats there.
There's going to be cats there to distract you. So the walls around this are not going to be as noticeable
Okay.
because you got the window.
Okay.
Is that what my dad said?
He ignored everything I asked, and he was only concerned with the height of the bench. So the transitions, it didn't bother him.
Can you not put wood higher up?
The
That
problem
would
is getting
really
wood
fix
that I can stain, and that's going to look. That's why I was doing all this in the woods. 'Cause I couldn't find something that I could actually
And
stain
wood's
that
stupid
looks
expensive.
decent and is consistent.
It's so expensive.
And we did those thin pieces around the fireplace. Those turned out really nice, but they're extremely thin, and on the walls, if you bump them, it will
Oh,
scratch
that's
them.
not good. Yeah, we don't want to do that.
And also, I took probably a half hour trying to find the right colored piece because they're all just mismatched pieces. And I may not be able to find one that actually stains the same way. So,
Everything, we've been talking about this for 2 years now. Everything going up.
Yeah.
It just keeps going up.
yeah.
I was telling Tim, I had to buy some soap supplies, and one of the ingredients has doubled. And actually, I looked at my receipts. I just bought some this last fall, and it's gone up probably 30%, and it's doubled since I bought it the time before. Like, I don't.
Oh, yeah, everything's double.
I mean, I can't even make some things anymore because it's so expensive.
Yep.
Because I can't pass that cost on. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, so the debate here in the stairwell was where the trim's going to line up at, whether it was going to be the consistent on this side as well as that side of the door. versus it transitioning over here, which would be either at this level or about, actually be up here about this level. Either way seemed to be okay with me. My bigger concern was how the trim would line up with the bench down here. So the way Natalie wanted to do it, puts my trim piece coming across right here, which is awfully close to the trim around the window, which is awfully close to where the bench, top of the bench is going to be. So pretty much what I need to do now is get a board that I can run from here clear up to there, which is probably about 16 inches, 17 inches. So if I can find a board that's that wide, it would work out pretty good. Otherwise, I'm going to be piecing stuff together to try and figure out how to make this work. But that's a problem for another day. Right now, I just want to get the drywall done, get this painted. Got it all done. Took a little bit more time than I thought. There's just a lot of small cuts everywhere to take care of, but turned out pretty good. Now all I gotta do is get it painted and get the trim on. And it should be looking pretty sharp from there.
How much are you doing? I said like 30 seconds.
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do a time lapse or not. If I speed it up or anything.